all doing wonderful whenever you are watching this video. Today I was just feeling like talking about makeup items and making some ASMR sounds with different makeup items that I love. So I went through my makeup collection and just picked out a couple of items from each category, and I'm just going to talk about them and tap on them and make lid sounds and any different ASMR sounds that I can think of for you guys, and I'll probably end up yapping about why I like each product. So I am going to kind of go in order of what I would use on my face. So I'm going to start with the face products and then eye products and then lip products. So I hope that this video is relaxing and enjoyable to watch. So I'm going to start with 2 sunscreens. I do not use primer most of the time. I will occasionally use primer, but it is not a regular part of my makeup routine. I don't purchase it often. So usually sunscreen is my preferred primer. I have a few sunscreens that I enjoy, but I'm not super picky as long as the sunscreen does not leave a white cast on my face and it does not make the other products that I put on top of it sit weird or pill up or look too cakey. As long as it just sits on my face nicely, I am happy with it. But today I have 2 Supergoop sunscreens to show you guys. We have the Supergoop Play Everyday Lotion. This is the SPF 50 sunscreen. And then I have the Glow Screen in Golden Hour, and this is SPF 40. Both of these are wonderful, wonderful products, and e.l.f. Cosmetics also has their dupe of this product, and I like that one as well. I really like the Glow Screen, of course, because it has the glowy hue to it. So this is what the Glow Screen looks like. It has a nice sheen to it, but it is sheer enough, especially on me as a very pale skinned gal. I need my glowy products to be a sheer glow, and this gives just enough of that glowy finish, but it's not like the tanning drops from, what was it, Drunk Elephant that made the tanning drops. Those are a little bit too dark for my pale skin tone, so this is a nice sheer tint, and it sits well underneath other makeup products or on its own. If you want to wear it on its own, you can do that as well. And then the Play sunscreen is just a lotiony texture, or lotiony, yeah, I guess texture would be the right consistency, that's the word I was thinking of. And it just blends in just like any other lotion. I think this one is not necessarily specific to your face. I think this is like a full body sunscreen if you want it to be, but I use it on my face and it does not break my skin out, which is greatly appreciated, but it also sits nicely under other makeup. foundation plus concealer, and I bedazzled the lid, which gives us some extra ASMR sounds. This product has definitely been a product that I have had to learn how I like it. So I got this back in like February of 2025. It was a free gift because I was a diamond member at Ulta last year. It was the first time that I had ever been a diamond member, and probably the last. I don't know if I'll ever end up spending that much money in 1 year, but who knows. Anyway, I got this as a free gift, and I have used it throughout the entire year. It doesn't really look like it, but I've definitely used a lot of this product. But I go through phases, so let me explain a few different ways that I've made this work for me. When I first bought this, it was the end of the winter time and going into springtime, so my skin was pretty dry, and whenever I would use this product, I had to mix it with some of my daily moisturizer. I use the CeraVe moisturizer, and I will just like take a little bit of this and just put it on the back of my hand, and then get some of the moisturizer and mix it in, because this foundation, I believe it says, yes, moderate to full coverage natural matte finish. So I would say that it is more of a full coverage for what I'm used to. I have always really loved either wearing a BB cream or just using concealer as my all-over facial coverage product instead of using a foundation. So if I use this, I like to mix it with some moisturizer to make it a lighter finish. But then in the summertime, I was mixing this with an e.l.f. CC cream, because when I bought this, it was the winter time, and in the summer it was a little bit too light for my skin tone. So I would mix it with the CC cream, and I guess it did kind of make it less full coverage, but the CC cream still had a decent amount of coverage. But I felt like I have pretty combination skin, so when I was using this in the summer, it looked great because my skin was more on the oily side, and this helped to mattify my skin, and it worked well in the summer with the way that my skin was more oily. And now that we're getting cooler weather again, I am having to mix it with my moisturizer again. I hope this all makes sense. I'm just kind of rambling, and I am very tired. So if I don't make a ton of sense right now, it is probably because I am like dozing off as I talk to you guys. But I say all of that because I've had to mix this product with other products to make it work the way that I want it to work. But it's a great base to kind of combine with other things and make it work for my skin. I don't think that I would purchase this again because it is an expensive product. Obviously, it's Clinique, and that is not a drugstore brand. So I think this product is like $40 or more. So I probably wouldn't purchase it for that reason. season, but I did enjoy having this year, and I'll continue to use it until I run out of it, which I feel like it's not gonna run out anytime soon. And it says, oh, it does, it has a 24-month expiration period. So I have until February of 2027 to use this up. So hopefully I get quite a bit of use out of this. But it has definitely been my go-to product all year long, all year long, all year long. I really like that sound of the rhinestones on the top of the lid. Next, I will talk about the powder that I love to repurchase over and over again. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder. Loose Setting Powder. And I get it in the translucent shade. Is translucent technically a shade, or is that just the finish? I don't know. But I don't think there's anything extra special about this product. It is just a light, loose setting powder. The reason that I go back to this product over and over again is because you get so much powder, and it is only like $5 or $6. Like I said, I have very combination skin. I will get dry patches in the winter time. If I get any acne, then when the acne is healing up, my skin will dry out around the acne. But then in the summertime, my skin is so oily, you could use it as like a slip and slide or an ice skating rink. Like, my skin gets so oily, it's crazy. So I always just need a powder that is not going to cling to the dry patches, but also a powder that is going to last throughout my oily skin. And for the cheap price point, this powder has never led me astray. It has never led me astray. So it's really nothing special, but it does the job. It does exactly what I need it to do, and it is a good price point for the product. I enjoy like the e.l.f. Cosmetics loose powder, but it's like $8, and I think you get around maybe 2/3 of the amount of product. It could even be like half of the amount of product. So I'm just not really willing to pay an extra couple of dollars for less product when this product works just as fine. Now, I mean, I have bought the e.l.f. powder multiple times before, but I usually try to only buy it if it's on sale. If it's not on sale, I will usually gravitate towards the Wet n Wild powder. Next, I'm going to talk about some bronzer products. Well, let me say I really love the Rare Beauty Cream Bronzer Stick. I forget what it's exactly called, but force myself to use up some makeup products before I buy new items. There are some categories that I struggle with, but I definitely don't need any more bronzer, so I'm not going to repurchase that one. I also love the Physicians Formula Matte Manoy bronzer, and I just finished that one as well. What else? Elf has their like glow wands. I forget what they're called, but it's like the Charlotte Tilbury dupe, and they have their cream bronzer wands. I love those as well. So I have a lot of bronzers that I really enjoy, and I have a few that I don't like at all, but I'm trying to use up what I have, and right now I am really enjoying the bronzers that I currently have in my collection. And the first one is this Juvia's Place bronzer palette. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's just the bronzed light palette. It says the bronzed by Juvia's, and I added these little rhinestones to it. So we've got some extra ASMR from these little rhinestones. But I have been loving this. I'm gonna try not to blind you guys with the mirror. It comes with 2 shades of bronzer. I guess this one could kind of be more of a contour shade, and this one's more of a bronzer, but I use them both interchangeably. Sometimes I just dip my brush into both of them and mix them together. And similar to the other products that I've talked about, because I am so super duper pale, it can be difficult to find a bronzer or a contour shade that doesn't just make my face look super muddy. Let's see if you can really see those. But these are perfect. For my preference, I almost prefer my bronzer products to be too light, because then I can pack it on, I can add a lot, and it will still blend into the rest of my makeup. With other bronzers, if they are too dark, then it just looks muddy. I look like, I don't know, you can see all of the lines. It doesn't blend in easily. With these, they blend in really easily, and they're just like a very creamy powder, which doesn't quite make a whole lot of sense, but the way that the powder blends in is just so easy and seamless. I also love the packaging. I love the design of the artwork, and I think you get a good amount of product for the price point. I forget the exact price point. I know whenever I bought this, I got it on sale, so I don't remember exactly how much it costs normally, but I definitely think it is worth the money. I've heard great things about their blushes and their concealer, as well as a bunch of other products from Juvia's Place, but this is the only thing that I've tried so far. I'm definitely interested in trying more products from this brand once I use up some other makeup items, but I think that this will definitely be on the list of bronzers that I love. It is hard for me to pick favorite products from certain portions of my makeup. Like, it is hard for me to pick one favorite mascara. It's hard for me to pick one favorite lip color or one favorite blush or apparently one favorite bronzer. But this is definitely in my favorites, along with the ones that I talked to you guys about earlier. easily and blend in really nicely. So they're just some of my go-to products for those reasons. And then I actually have another face palette, including another bronzer that I love. But I love this entire palette, and it is not only a bronzer, it is bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter, all from Benefit Cosmetics. Benefit Cosmetics. I got this palette, I think, in 2023. It could have even been like 2022. I'm not positive, but I got it around the holiday season. And I think that Benefit has another similar palette this year. But since the time that I bought this palette, I have not seen another face palette that I have loved as much as I love this one. This is like my perfect combination of shades. So we have the Hoola bronzer, the Shelly blush, and the Cookie highlighter. Let me do some swatches. So that was quite a dark swatch of the bronzer. That is the Hoola bronzer. It is a bit darker than the other two, but it also blends out just as easily, in my opinion. And then I will also swatch the blush and the highlighter. This is the blush, the Shelly blush, and the Cookie highlighter. The Cookie highlighter. I am using a little selfie light as well as a lamp because now that we have passed daylight savings time, I no longer have time to record during the natural daylight. So I feel like you don't quite get the best lighting for these swatches, but as I have said before, and I will probably continue to say, for my pale skin tone, these colors are amazing. This palette is my favorite for traveling. I have brought this palette on a trip to Disney World. I took it to, I think, New York and Chicago last year. I took it on my family vacation this past summer to South Dakota. Where else has it been with me? I've taken it on so many trips at this point. Family trips and trips with my husband, different, any vacation that I go on, this is my go-to palette because it has all of the colors that I need. I like to use the Cookie highlighter as an eyeshadow. You will see as I continue that I love to wear shimmering eyeshadow. I love anything glittery. I mean, this is my nail polish of the day, and whenever I wear eyeshadow, it basically looks like this, but a more neutral shade. So I love to have anything shining or shimmering on my eyelids. So to have that in this palette, I can have my bronzer, my blush, and my highlighter / eyeshadow. So it kind of just meets a bunch of categories all in one. And yeah, I have so many good things to say about this palette. They're also just really nice formulas. I think that Benefit is like most known so happy that I bought this palette, and if I ever use all of these products up, I will probably buy a new palette. If not one with these exact shades, then one very similar to this, or I would just repurchase the 3 products separately because I love them all so much. I have 2 more products to finish up the face category. I have one more blush and one more highlighter to talk about. The blush that I love that I had to add is the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Hope. But I also have 3 other blushes from this collection. They're just the mini sizes, but this is the one that I purchased full size because I love the color. So this is Hope, Hope, Hope. And I really like these blushes because you can blend them out and make them look really natural, which is what I prefer to do. So it kind of just gives that light pink flush to your face. That light pink flush to your face. Or you can build it up depending on if you use your fingers to blend it, if you use a sponge or a makeup brush. I think you can kind of manipulate the application to be exactly what you prefer it to be. I've seen some people who just take the blush and they will use their brush and just dab it directly onto the end and use a blush. Oh my gosh, my words are going all together. Forgive me. You can use a brush and directly apply it to your cheeks, or I like to apply it onto the back of my hand and then dab my brush into it and then apply it to kind of diffuse the product a little bit. You can use a sponge. Like I said, there's so many options of how you apply it and the finish that you want it to give. Sometimes I really enjoy using the Rare Beauty highlighter with it, so I will put a dab of the blush and then a dot of the highlighter, a dab of the blush and a dab of the highlighter, and then I will mix them together. That way it creates a glowy blush. I really like to do that in the summertime. I will use one of their more golden toned highlighters. That way it's just a very sun-kissed blush highlight look. So I really enjoy doing that. Or in the fall time, I might use a more berry toned blush with a rose gold highlighter and make it into kind of a warm cranberry blush. I don't know, I just love kind of experimenting and mixing those colors together to get the perfect blush tone that I want. And then I do usually set the cream blush or the liquid blush, whatever you want to call it, with a powder blush. That way it just keeps the color in place. So I'll just use any blush color that I already own that is kind of a similar tone and dab it on top of the Rare Beauty blushes and highlighters. And I just love it. I think it creates such a wonderful, youthful glow, and it is my favorite. And speaking of glowing, I love this highlighter from Milani. This is rose toned blush, and it might have come with a bronzer or an eyeshadow or something. I don't know. But this is the Afterglow Instant Glow Powder in Strobe Light. Strobe Light. Strobe Light. And this is a highlighter that I would love to wear for an everyday look. This is not one of the highlighters that is going to be like, you can see me from the moon. I feel like this lighting is almost too bright. I need to bring it down a little bit. Hopefully you can tell that it is a more natural highlight shade. And that's what I really like about this, because even with that cookie highlighter from the Benefit palette, it kind of has more of a shimmer finish. So it definitely is a brighter highlight, a cooler highlight. And this one, if you place it on top of your blush, it can create a natural glow versus a bright in-your-face kind of glow. So I think if I were only able to, like if I lost all of my makeup and I were only able to buy one new highlighter, this would definitely be at the top of my list because it is so natural and it is a good everyday blush. Nope, it is a good everyday highlighter that, at least in my opinion, for the finish, that I like to wear. Yeah, I hope that you can tell, even though the lighting is kind of direct, it just gives that nice shine. Hopefully you guys can tell. The next category that I'm going to show you guys items for is my eyebrows, and I only have 2 items. But if you have watched my channel for, I don't know, a while now, then you probably already know the 2 products that I'm going to talk about because they are my go-to products. My eyebrows is the one area of my makeup routine that I rarely ever change. So the eyebrow pencil that I like to use, I don't have the lid for this side, but the eyebrow pencil is the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Retractable Brow Pencil in the medium brown shade. It is kind of a triangle shaped tip, and there's a hair on it. It is just the perfect color. It's kind of a neutral warm, a neutral medium brown color, but it is like the perfect match for my hair. No matter what time of year, it always seems to match my hair perfectly. And then the other end is just a spoolie. Let's see, let's give you a little brush on the mic. Do you guys like mic brushing triggers? So this has just been my go-to. It matches my eyebrows perfectly, and I like this shape of eyebrow pencil because I find it easier to draw on. I don't have to be super duper precise, but it also isn't like crazy messy or anything. Sometimes if I try to use a marker or a thicker eyebrow pencil, it can be a little bit too messy on my eyebrows. And if I use the super duper thin pens or pencils, then I just find that it takes me way too long and I just don't have the patience for that. So this is a good in-between, and it is not formula. Sometimes if the eyebrow pencil is too thick, then it almost like borderline tugs on your skin. And if it is too creamy, then it can just go everywhere. And if you accidentally wipe your eyebrow, then half of your eyebrow comes off. So I just really like the consistency of this eyebrow pencil and the color and everything about this. And then the eyebrow gel that I love is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. The Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. This is my go-to eyebrow gel. I actually have not been using this. I've been using one from L'Oreal, but this is what the brush looks like. It has longer bristles on this side and shorter bristles on this side. It is not wanting to focus, but you can get the picture. And then the other sides are flat because I believe you're supposed to be able to use this kind of like an eyebrow laminating gel. I don't really use it for that. I just brush my eyebrows to the side and call it a day. I really like this because it holds my eyebrows in place all day long. It doesn't move. It's kind of like a hairspray for your eyebrows, but it's not too hard to use. The L'Oreal one that I am using right now is hard to work with, in my opinion. I have to be careful because it can look really clumpy, and when I use it over top of my eyebrow pencil, the L'Oreal one kind of like clings to the eyebrow pencil and leaves little spots where, I don't know, it doesn't look good. I don't think I'll be repurchasing that one afterwards. It is just too hard to make it work. I can definitely make it look good, but it takes extra time and effort, whereas with this eyebrow gel, it is super easy, quick, simple. I just brush them to the side, and I might use like a clean spoolie to brush them down, but this is my ultimate go-to eyebrow duo. If I could only wear these eyebrow products for the rest of my life, I would be content. For the rest of my eye products, I have a couple of eyeshadows, an eyeliner, and a mascara. The eyeshadows that I chose, I'll actually show this one first. This is actually not an eyeshadow. This is from Fenty Beauty. This is their Diamond Balm All Over Diamond Veil. I guess if it says all over Diamond Veil, it probably means it could be used on any part of the face, but I always see this marketed as a highlighter. This is, I don't know if I said it, it's the color How Many Carats, and it looks like this. Again, this lighting is probably too bright to see this product in all of its glory. Hopefully that works to see it. Basically, this is kind of just like a translucent powder made of glitter. So you can barely see it on my hand. Let me see. It is just glitter. Let me pack a bunch of it on my hand for you guys. Okay, I feel like that's a pretty good swatch and pretty good lighting for this. It is just straight up glitter, and I love it. I love this so much. I've actually been wearing this on my eyelids for the last maybe a month now, and I love to just spread it out all over my eyelid. You can see it's just everywhere on my hand now. I don't really like to do full eyeshadow looks. I am not the type of person who puts a medium brown color in my crease and then a dark shimmers. If I could just have my entire face look like this 24/7, if that was acceptable, I would definitely do that for sure. But this is a little bit more of a cool toned eyeshadow look. So if I want to wear a warm toned eyeshadow, I like to use this palette. This is the Morphe palette, and it is the Gold Seeker palette. I bedazzled the M on the front cover of this. It reminds me of honey dripping down. I love the packaging of this eyeshadow palette, and I really enjoy Morphe's eyeshadows. I think that they make some nice quality eyeshadows. So this is a palette that I love to use in the summertime and the fall season. Usually the only eyeshadows that I gravitate towards are the 4 shimmers, and I will use these 2 dark colors as an eyeliner every once in a while. This color would probably work as an eyebrow shade if I really needed it to as well. But let me swatch the shimmer shades for you guys, because the shimmer shades are the reason that I bought this palette for sure. There's one shade that doesn't really give much of a punch. So this is the middle shade. I didn't really swatch them in a good order. That is the middle shade, and it is kind of a straight up metallic eyeshadow. And then this kind of coppery tone is this one right here. This shade at the top is definitely the most lackluster. It doesn't really give a whole lot. But then my favorite shade is this one. It is a light champagne. It kind of reminds me of that cookie highlighter in the Benefit palette. But I just love any of these colors as my lid shade. If I'm going to wear an eyeshadow, I'll just wear any sort of metallic glittery shade and call it a day. And I would even combine them, so I might do like the lightest shade on the inner corner and then this coppery shade on the outer corner. That would be about as crazy as I might get with eyeshadow shades. But the palette and the Fenty Diamond Bomb, that is kind of the stereotypical eyeshadow that I might wear. I think, honestly, I probably reach for highlighters more than I reach for actual legitimate eyeshadows in my day-to-day makeup routine. I just reach for whatever highlight shade I'm going to put on my cheeks. I would just put that on my eyelids. I don't know what it is. I love shimmers, and now my hands are full of glitter, but I don't think you can even tell in the lighting. This hand has a bunch of glitter on it from the Morphe eyeshadows, but that Fenty glitter, it hits different for sure. That's crazy to me. Anyway, to kind of complete my eyeshadow look, I always like to line my eyes with a brown eyeliner. This is the Sephora 12-hour colorful crayon contour eye pencil, and it is waterproof, and I get it in the shade Tiramisu, And as you can see, it is just a dark brown eyeshadow. And I like to line my waterline, line my waterline, line my waterline with this. I have hazel, greenish brown eyes, so I really like to wear a brown eyeliner instead of a black eyeliner because I think it suits my eyeshadow. Nope, it suits my eye color better. And this one does not transfer. I have used some eyeshadows, some eyeliners. Oh my gosh, I cannot get my words straight tonight. I'm telling you, I am very sleepy. I have used some eyeliners that transfer from my upper waterline to my lower waterline, but this one stays put wherever you apply it. Wherever you apply it, wherever you apply it. And it's only like $11 or $12 on Sephora's website, so if you can get it on sale, that is even better. But even at the normal price, it is a pretty good price point in my opinion. The last eye product that I have to show you guys is a mascara that I love. Before I talk specifically about this mascara, I just have to point out that I don't think I could choose one favorite mascara. I will quickly list off some mascaras that I've loved over the years. I absolutely love the CoverGirl Lash Blast mascaras. I love the orange tube, the green, the purple. I think they have a blue one. I loved those all throughout high school. I've enjoyed a lot of Maybelline's mascaras. I really like L'Oreal's Lash Paradise, and they have like a Bambi Eye mascara from L'Oreal. I think that Tarte makes other really good mascaras, and Benefit makes some great mascaras. I thankfully have longer eyelashes, and my eyelashes are decently curly. Even though my hair is naturally straight, my eyelashes did get a little bit of a curl. So I can usually make most mascaras work for my eyelashes, but this one has been a mascara that I really enjoyed recently that stood out to me. This is the Tartelette XL Tubing Mascara. The Tubing Mascara. This is a brand new bottle, as you can tell because it's still in the box. Because I've been trying to use up some other mascaras in my collection before I used this one. I got this on sale over the summer, and I told myself I wasn't going to buy it until I use up all of my other mascaras, but it was on a really good sale and I caved and bought it. But I am keeping it in the box until I use up some other mascaras. The thing that I love the most about this is the tubing aspect of it. The mascara itself is not super special. I'll quickly show you the brush. It is just a straight brush, kind of a cone shape. It is truly nothing super duper special. But like I said earlier, my skin is kind of a combination, and it leans oily in the spring and summertime. So during those months when my skin is extra oily, I usually have to wear waterproof mascara because the mascara will transfer up onto my eyelid if I am like looking down typing on my desk at work. If I'm looking down, then my eyelashes kind of curl up and touch my eyelid, and then the mascara will transfer up to my eyelid because my skin is so oily. But if I wear this mascara, then it seals in my mascara and it kind of creates like a waterproof barrier, and it no longer creates that problem that I had where my mascara would transfer. So it was kind of life-changing, and I just loved it. I don't really like wearing waterproof mascara because it is so hard to get it off. At the end of the day, it is difficult to remove, but tubing mascara, it stays on in the same way that waterproof mascara stays on, but it doesn't take forever to remove it. It's a lot easier to remove, but it still keeps on my mascara all day. So if you have problems with your mascara transferring throughout the day, definitely get some tubing mascara. It doesn't necessarily have to be the Tarte brand. I just have not tried other brands of tubing mascara, but that might help you not have eye transfer onto your eyelid. I'm so sorry, you guys. My words are just not coming out clearly tonight, so if I sound crazy, hopefully at least it's relaxing. So the last category is lips, and I could show you guys so many lip products. I have a makeup collection video where I show you guys all of my lip products, and I would definitely check that video out because I swatched all of the products and I talked about them all, because I do have a lot of favorite lip products, but I tried to just keep it simple, and I only brought out 2 different kinds of lip products. I have lip liner and then lip colors, so I have 2 of each. The lip liner that I love is just the Essence brand. It is the Soft and Precise Lip Pencil from Essence. I have the colors My Choice, which is the one that I've been using a lot as of late. You can see that I only have a little bit left, so that is that color, if you can see it around all of the glitter. And then I also have the color Charming, and I recently used up the color, I think it was named Truth or something like that, or True Me. I think it was True Me. But I like these because they are very close to my natural lip color, but they just make it one tone overall. They're very easy to blend out on the lips, and they just create a nice, natural, clean lip shade, if that makes sense. I don't usually do anything too crazy with my lip colors. I like to keep it pretty natural. So these both are kind of my lips, but better, depending on what shade I want to wear over top of the lip liner. And then one of my favorite lip products to wear over top of these lip liners are the Tarte Maracuja Lip Plumps. And I have the shades Tulip and Honeysuckle. Tulip is my overall favorite. It is my number 1 top favorite. It is what I have on right now. That is Tulip. And then Honeysuckle would be the shade that I would wear if I am going out and want to add a little bit of a pop of color. So that honeysuckle. It kind of looks really bland on the swatch, but on my lips, it definitely adds some depth. Let me swatch it on my lips. I feel like this is not doing it justice. I promise you guys that if I wear it with the right lip liner, I can make it kind of more of a vampy look. But I mean, in retrospect, I do love a more natural vibe overall on my full face of makeup. I don't like to go too crazy with anything, so both of those are great colors. They don't really plump your lips in the painful way. It's kind of more of just a cooling sensation. It feels like I just brushed my teeth or something and I have that minty freshness. It's definitely not a painful lip plumping product. So if you don't like lip plumpers, then you should not be afraid of this one because it's not a burning plump or anything like that. I just love how it is kind of a mixture of a lip gloss and a lipstick. It is such a good everyday product to just throw on over your lip liner and call it a day. I don't feel like I need a mirror to apply it. I have worn both of these colors to weddings. I've worn them to work. I wear them whenever. They're just a go-to classic lip combo product for me, and they are a little bit expensive. The Essence lip liners are really cheap. They're like $2 or $3, and these are like $24. So, you know, you gotta pick and choose where you want to spend your money, and I really like the Tarte lip plumpers. I love the color, and I love the shine, the glossiness, without it being too sticky. It does look a little bit sticky, but I think that's just because I layered the one color over the other. Usually if you just put on a light coat, it is not sticky at all. And yeah, I just think they're a lovely lip product. But that is everything that I wanted to show you guys today. It wasn't really anything special, not any like specific type of video. I just wanted to share some makeup products that I love with you guys. If you enjoy any of these products as well, I would love to hear your opinions, and if you have any favorite makeup products that you think that I would enjoy, I would love any new recommendations to try out. If you are not already a part of our family, then I hope you will subscribe. If you liked this video, give it a like down below, and I hope to see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day or night. Goodbye. Goodbye.